Thank you for tuning in to the GridCenter. This is the Big Ten Week 4 recap show, also along with the Week 5 preview. I am your host, Shane Falco, along with my co-host, Big D. We're going to cover the new rankings, go over the game of the week from Week 4, look ahead to Week 5's game of the week, the spreads for all the Week 5 games, and the standout individual performances from Week 4. The Week 4 game of the week was second to none versus the Bulldogs in a battle of undefeateds. The score wasn't very pretty, only 12-7. However, the two teams did battle all the way to the end, and it was a close, hard-fought game. You have any input there?
I've seen it online, and I'm sorry I missed it. It was entertaining. Second to none pulled it out. I really don't get the offense with running around in circles and waiting for. I mean, he's doing his thing. He's undefeated, so I can't knock that. I mean, he do anything. Sherman's did a good job of assembling a couple of guys, and these guys are undefeated. And they're gonna have a hell of a game this weekend too. So we'll see what happens.
Definitely gonna be a battle. I gotta say, they did a good job scouting the Bulldogs. They had the center all locked up. It's pretty frustrating for the old center to try and get out and catch a couple passes. Very disheartening for that guy. So I have to admit that I'm disappointed. I was hoping to use that line 2-1 this week. But they're still second to none. What can you say?
You used it, so solve it.
But it didn't. It's not in the same context, so it doesn't really matter. Well, let's go to the individual standout performers and the spreads for the next week's games. What do you have, Big D?
Thanks, Falco. Let's go to the Big Ten plays of the week, offensively and defensively. Offensively, again, we got Brad from lockdown. He went for 8-12 for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns. He had two-point conversions. And he rushed 5 times for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. For defensively, we got Julius Angle from Nellis. He won this award last week with the same stats: 3 flag pulls, 3 sacks. We're going to go to the Big 12 spreads. No, we're not. We're going to go to the Big Ten spreads. All right. We got Geek Squad versus the Mad Dogs. We have the Mad Dogs favored by 8. Then we have Nellis versus the Wolverines. We got Nellis favored by 13. We have second to none lockdown. That's a pick'em, and also going to be our game of the week, and we'll discuss that. Then last but not least, we have the Bulldog versus the other guys, and we have the Bulldogs favored by 10. For the Big Ten rankings, we're going to go to Falco.
Well, thanks, Big D. The Big Ten rankings don't have a lot of shake-up in the top 3 as they remain the same. Second to none is still that way as they are on top, undefeated. Battling this week against the number 2, also undefeated, Lockdown. So the battle of the sandbaggers will take place this week. Bulldogs, even with a loss, stay at number 3 as all the teams below them with worse records. And they still have to be, but they're going to have a tough test with the number 4 other guys this week. Upset alert for the Bulldogs. Again, other guys are at number 4. We got the Wolverines taking a bad loss. Looking a little disorganized and dysfunctional without J-Dub at the helm, even on the sideline, but he's not controlling the team in the huddle, so someone has to step up and make plays for this squad as they're now down at number 5, getting shut out by the other guys. Mad Dogs knocking off Nellis, move up to number 6. Good job there. They went on the forum and actually guaranteed a victory and came out on top. From what my sources tell me that T-Money's infamous sunglasses were broken during that game, so I think the power is gone, just like Samson and his hair. So we might not see T-Money too much more defensively making an impact. After the Mad Dogs, we have Nellis. They're at number 7. Again, falling to the Mad Dogs, giving the Mad Dogs their first win. And Nellis just isn't quite right. Defensively, they're not as sharp as they usually are, or at least were last season. And offensively, they're still struggling. So we're going to have to see if they can turn it around here late. They have to do it real quick if they want to make a push. And the Geek Squad, still winless, falling in there at number 8. They have some potential to put some points up on the board as they usually score once or twice every week, but they're still having a tough time adjusting to the competition that they're facing. So they just got to keep their heads up on that one. Let's get into the game of the week and whatnot for Week 5 there, Big D.
Thanks, Falco. Let's go to the game of the week for the Big Ten. We got second to none and lockdown. This should be a good, interesting game. I myself favorite. I'm going to pick lockdown to win it. Brad is pretty much playing the best football of his life, and he's leading his team, and these guys are coming up winners, and I don't think he has a close game yet, and he's putting up a alarming stats this year. So I'm not taking anything away from Sherm and second to none. I just think that Lockdown's going to pull this one out. And actually, I would have them favored by a touchdown.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they actually have had a close game. First game of the season against Nellis, it was a 7-0 affair. And Brad hasn't really faced a defense, any team with a defense, since they played Nellis. So they're going to get a good test there against that 6-0 defense. They definitely have some playmakers that can cause them some fits. So we'll see. They did beat 2nd last year, or last season, but Don King was at the helm for 2nd. So it was a different squad. But we're going to see. Brad is definitely playing lights out. I mean, best of his life. I mean, we don't know. I mean, he did win some championships back in the day with Camden, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. Well, he's playing in C now, so
Yeah.
we can say that whatever. But he is definitely playing some lights out football. I mean, when you're throwing up almost 40 fantasy points every week, averaging 4 touchdowns easily every week, I mean, it's really hard to argue.
I really can't argue with that.
But again, this will be the first defensive team they've faced since Nellis. In Nellis, they didn't really put up any points, so we'll see how that goes. See if that was just the first week jitters or if it's just the defensive end that gives them problems.
We'll see.
Definitely could be a good matchup. Lockdown's defense really hasn't had to face any offensive teams as of yet, so they've had points scored on them though by some of the newer teams. So we'll see if the circus act of Obama and the crew can pull off some points. I actually think 2nd may pull this game out, but regardless, I think it's going to be an end of the game 1 or 2 point affair. I definitely don't see anything much more than that. It's going to be a very close game.
Okay. Well, we can always reflect from this next week, so we'll see what happens.
We definitely can. We definitely can. So we'll leave it at that. That's going to wrap it up for us here on the Big Ten Week 4 recap and Week 5 preview. I am your host, Shane Falco, along with my co-host, Big D. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck to everyone on the field, and we'll see you next week.